There is no doubt that Clash of Clans makes a ton of money and has a million different things you can buy to progress faster. But this raises the question about whether or not Clash of Clans is actually as free to play as it is portrayed. I mean, look at Clash Royale. It was once a free-to-play game that was turned pay-to-win, and Brawl Stars might also be going down the pay-to-win route after recent updates. Both of those were made by the same company, so is Clash of Clans actually all that free to play? That is what we're going to be going over today, but first we have to look over Clash of Clans and its progression system to fully understand the effects that money would have. Clash of Clans is a mobile strategy game that was published in 2012 as a free to play game with the freemium model, which was one of the first at the time. It is set in a fantasy world where you basically just build up your village and attack other people's villages to progress. Clash of Clans has generally received very positive reviews and has also had days where it was generating millions of dollars, meaning people were definitely buying things, and quite a lot of them. The game has several currencies, with the four main ones being gold, elixir, dark elixir, and gems. Gold and elixir are spent on a majority of the construction and upgrades in your village, while the dark elixir is used for some heroes and dark elixir troops and spells. But the gems are seen as the most valuable and hardest to get resource in the game. The main reason people need gems is to get more builders, which really helps speed up the progression of the game, but the gems are also nice for speeding up upgrades or buying some of the other resources I mentioned earlier. So now that we have looked at the game and the main resources involved, how does the progression actually work? The main point of the game is to just upgrade your base to try and max out, and you do this by upgrading and building new buildings as you level up. To do this, you're gonna need the resources that I mentioned earlier, and the main way to get those is by attacking other people and just passively waiting for them from your collectors. Additionally, you also have things like Clan Wars, in which you get much more loot for attacking bases with the bonuses, and the Clan War League, in which you earn a special type of currency called League Medals that you can use to buy resources and hammers, which act a lot like gems in that they can be used to instantly upgrade a building without using up resources. And there are also the clan games, which let you earn a ton more rewards, including books, which are like hammers, except that you still need to have the resources. And there are also a ton of other things at the clan capital, but I'm not gonna bother getting into all of that. But essentially, you just progress by attacking other people for their resources and farming your own resources to go and upgrade your village and keep on climbing through the higher town hall levels. All of this can be done for free, but it just takes a lot of time. In fact, it takes multiple years to go from Town Hall 1 to Town Hall 15, which is currently the highest you can go. And to speed this up is where money in the whole freemium model comes into play. This model is where people can download and play the game for free, but they can also get premium things by spending real money. And in Clash of Clans, there is one premium currency, which is the gems. The main and fastest way to get gems is obviously just by stealing your mom's credit card, but there are also free ways to get gems. One of them is by clearing obstacles, which have a chance of dropping a couple of gems, with the gem box being a rare obstacle that drops 25 gems. The second way to get them will be through the gem mine in the builder base, which just lets you passively get them over time. And the final way is through achievements, which can sometimes give 2,000 gems for the really hard ones. But you can only do them once, and at a certain stage, you just run out of them. So it isn't completely impossible to actually earn these gems, though it's much slower than just buying them, which is to be expected. So Clash of Clans obviously can't just rely on gems for money, which is why there are a couple of other things in their freemium model. One of them is by having special offers, such as the Black Friday deals that are currently going on. This in-app purchase combines precious gems, resources, and other items at a pretty big discount. The knockdown price's purpose is to encourage users to make purchases, which some people think is unfair as it is kind of in your face about buying the deals, and people who really can't afford them will really be missing out and be behind everyone who did buy the offers. But Clash of Clans also has something else which is extremely popular, and that is the pass. There are two levels in Clash of Clans, which are silver and gold. While the silver tier is completely free for all people to enjoy, the gold tier is purchasable. It has many more inviting rewards such as more elixir, gold, magic items, and hero skins. You can gain access to these benefits with the gold pass, which falls at just $6.99, which in my opinion is a really good deal and helps progression out a ton, especially because you get some benefits such as a boost in building and research time. But this could also be seen as something that just widens the gap between people who can spend money and people who can't. Clash of Clans has also ventured into the world of cosmetics with hero skins and sceneries in the game. Some of them are purchasable by gems while others cost actual money. So while these don't really affect the gameplay, they are still some ways that Clash of Clans makes money in their freemium model. So now that we've looked at how the game works and some of the different things that you can buy in the game, we are at the question of whether or not Clash of Clans is pay to win. There has been a massive debate over this over the years with people arguing on both sides, so let's look at all the different factors at play. The first one is the value for the money, aka is it even worth it? Whether the extra resources and benefits are worth it to you depends on your preferences and budget. Those with a bigger budget will definitely find it easier to make an in-app purchase than those with a smaller budget. However, if you do decide to buy something, some offers provide more value than others. It is generally agreed that the Gold Pass offers many more benefits than other similar priced offers, making it a really good value for the money, and buying builders is seen as cost efficient because they are a significant part of your progression, and this means that these two things are typically more common and more likely that more players are going to buy it, which makes them a bit more equal, though it also furthers the gap between the people who can't buy it. The next factor is how do the in-game purchases affect the balance of the game. In-app purchases can generate game imbalance, where users who make purchases have a significant advantage over those who do not. However, Clash of Clans enjoys many free users who do not spend any money, where many of whom excel and compete at the highest levels. This means that there might not be a significant barrier of imbalance in Clash of Clans in-app purchases, especially because you tend to be paired up with people at a similar level as you, so you might be against someone who has spent 5k on the game, but they're still on the same level as you, so overall it might not actually matter except that they just managed to get there a lot faster than you did. The next factor is exactly how optional the in-game purchases actually are. Nobody is forced to pay, but there's always an option if they want to. The purchases are designed to improve the gaming experience, but are not necessarily essential to enjoy the absolute core features of Clash of Clans. But at times there are just so many offers that it feels like Supercell is trying to force you into buying them. And the final factor is the progression. While it is true that in-app purchases can make player progressions much smoother and more convenient, whether this is fair or not is also down to opinion. You can still progress without paying money, and Clash of Clans does attempt to strike a balance in offering rewards and challenges to help players progress no matter what their budget may be. But in the end, someone who spends money on the game is just going to be further ahead than people who don't spend any money. So now that we've looked at some of the different factors, let's actually see if the game is pay to win or not. It really depends on your personal perspective, so let's break this down into the two main sides of the argument and discuss this further. Some people argue that Clash of Clans is a pay-to-win game because it will take a significant amount of time to achieve a certain level of success in the game compared to a shorter period if you spent money. Others have said that Clash of Clans is unfair because players can become powerful just by spending real money compared to those with genuine gameplay skills. The VIP aspect of the game appears less inclusive to those who do not have the financial capacity to progress as quickly as those who make in-app purchases. On the other hand, while many argue that this game's in-app purchases make it unfair and simply a pay-to-win game, we still have to consider that you can succeed in Clash of Clans without spending a single penny. After all, players are still able to reach the highest levels in Clash of Clans with commitment and talent. Everyone has the potential to max out in the game without spending money. The only difference is that it might take a different amount of time to complete this, and this suggests that gameplay skill is more crucial than financial resources. So personally, I think that Clash of Clans isn't actually pay to win because you can spend money to fully max out, but you don't actually get to fully enjoy and experience the game, and Clash of Clans is really just one of those games where the journey is more important than getting to the top. In fact, a majority of players will never even get to experience being completely maxed out because it is almost impossible to do so without spending money or just spending a ton of time on the game.